Morgan, I just finished the Simone Biles episode and I'm rattled. Like properly rattled.
The vault story?
No, well, yes, but when she said, I thought America hated me after landing that vault in Tokyo, that's not an athlete talking. That's a hostage.
Oh my God, yes. The way she immediately thought about Twitter instead of thank Christ I didn't break my neck.
That's what I'm saying. She's literally lost in the air. Could have snapped her spine. Lands. And her first thought is, what are they saying online? We've created monsters. Not her. Us. The system.
The part that got me was when she called her sister from the back room. Like, imagine being the greatest gymnast who ever lived, calling home from the Olympics crying because you're out and done.
And her sister was asleep.
Stop it. During the Olympics. I think I'll take a nap while Simone competes for America.
But here's what's fucked. Sorry, what's messed up. She's been carrying trauma from abuse, dealing with the twisties, which, by the way, is your brain literally trying to kill you.
It's your brain going, nope, we're done. Good luck with gravity.
Right. And she still got up there because she didn't want to let down these teammates who, let's be honest, without her wouldn't even be there.
Okay, but can we talk about how she wore hoodies in middle school to hide her muscles? Because she was stronger than the boys?
See, that pisses me off. That properly winds me up. You know what I did when boys said I was too strong? I arm wrestled them at lunch and took their lunch money.
Of course you did.
But she internalized it. The greatest athlete in the world was ashamed of being strong. That's criminal.
You know what else is criminal? USA Gymnastics. The way she talked about the abuse, how they all thought it was normal because they were all going through it together.
Yeah.
That's not just abuse of power, that's systematic.
It's weaponized trust. They turned these girls' dedication against them. And then when she speaks up about it, she has to deal with the guilt that wasn't even hers to carry.
The therapy thing, though, when she said she ghosts her therapist sometimes?
Most relatable thing, she said. Sorry, my phone was on Do Not Disturb. We've all been there.
But imagine being her therapist. So today we're going to discuss how you literally lost your spatial awareness while flying through the air at the Olympics.
And also unpack decades of abuse while you prep for Paris. Like, where do you even start?
Can we please discuss the Jonathan Owens situation? Because I have thoughts.
Oh, I'm ready. Hit me.
She was in the room during that interview, sitting right there, and she thought he killed it.
Because he did kill it. He was talking about being a catch. Which he is, by the way. Man gets her windows tinted, brings her cameras to the gym.
Gets the young gymnast's windows tinted too. He's out here running a full-service operation.
But the internet heard I didn't know who she was. And immediately went to divorce him. Like, excuse me? The man said he was a catch. Are we saying he's not?
It's this weird thing where people think acknowledging your own worth means you're diminishing your partner's. Like both people can't be catches?
Also, and this is important, it was his interview.
Right. She literally said she goes to his games and doesn't make it about her. She just wants to see her man in uniform, get a kiss, and watch him play.
Which is healthy. That's a healthy relationship. But no, the internet wants him to genuflect every time her name comes up.
The craziest part is people saying he doesn't support her. This man drove to bring her a camera she forgot during the season.
During the season? Do you know how territorial athletes get about their time during season?
Oh, I know. I once didn't speak to my coach for a week because he scheduled a meeting during my pre-match nap window.
Your nap window!
It was sacred, Tessa.
But back to Simone. What breaks my heart is she's been conditioned to be the strong one since she was, 6?
The adopted kid who has to be grateful, the gymnast who has to be perfect, the team leader who can't show weakness.
The abuse survivor who has to be the voice for others while dealing with her own trauma.
And then people wonder why she had a breakdown at the Olympics? She's been compression packing trauma like it's a carry-on suitcase.
That line about being a cat with 9 lives and Tokyo being her 9th.
Chills. Actual chills.
You know what, though? The fact that she got up and did beam after all that, changed her routine, no twisting, just said, fuck it, I'm doing this for me.
And people still had opinions. Of course she's doing the easy one for herself. The easy one.
Mate, I couldn't do the easy one if you gave me a harness and a prayer circle.
The bronze medal thing killed me too. In Rio, people told her to throw away her bronze. In Tokyo, that bronze meant everything.
Because one was about perfection and one was about survival.
God, that's good. Tweet that.
Already did.
Of course you did. But seriously, can we talk about her parents for a second? Because that gymnasium moment,
When they're watching their daughter, who they adopted from foster care, now coaching in a gym with their name on it. After everything.
the full circle of it all, from a daycare field trip that happened because of rain,
Divine intervention, more like.
into becoming the GOAT. And they told her from day one she was adopted, made it normal, asked if she wanted to call them mom and dad.
The opposite of shame. Just pure acceptance.
You know what I keep thinking about? She said she's excited to see what happens after Paris. Not excited for Paris, excited for after.
Because she's already won.
How do you mean?
She's not going to Paris to prove anything. She survived Tokyo, she's in therapy, she married a man who brings her forgotten cameras.
The bar is so specific.
I'm serious, though. She's going to Paris as Simone, not as America's medal insurance policy. That's the victory.
The legacy question at the end, when she said she wants to be remembered as someone who gave it her all, but also had fun?
Revolutionary. Absolutely revolutionary.
In women's sports especially, we're supposed to suffer beautifully, not enjoy ourselves.
Right? Heaven forbid we actually like what we do. But she's sitting there at 26, married, in therapy, headed to Paris on her own terms?
After the entire world watched her fail,
In quotes, massive quotes.
and she's like, yeah, I'm good, I worked through it. Next question.
The mental health stuff is going to change sports. It already has. When I was competing, you mentioned therapy, and they'd bench you.
Now she's ghosting her therapist like it's a bad Tinder date and talking about it publicly.
The way she admitted it, too. I feel so guilty and ashamed. Like, girl, same.
But that's what makes her so powerful. She's the GOAT who ghosts her therapist. She's human.
The most decorated gymnast in history is just a girl from Texas who wanted to do the one with 4 events.
Who still doesn't think she's that good. Did you catch that? Everyone else saw her talent but her?
Imposter syndrome at the Olympics. Make it make sense.
It does, though. When you're that good, that young, you don't have perspective. You just think everyone's being nice.
Oh, they're saying I'm good because I'm short. Meanwhile, she's literally defying physics.
The coaches nicknaming her Soldier because of her muscles at 6.
Built different. Literally.
You know what's wild? She almost broke gymnastics. The twisties forced her to go back to basics, and she's still
the GOAT. Lost her air awareness. Had to rebuild from scratch, came back. Won worlds.
while actively traumatized. She said if Worlds had gone one more day, she would have broken down.
This is what people don't get about elite sports. It's not just physical. She was up there convincing herself she could twist while her brain was screaming, abort mission.
And she did it anyway.
Because that's what we do. That's what we're trained to do. Push through, suppress, perform.
Until we can't.
Until we literally can't. And she had the courage to say I can't on the world's biggest stage.
With everyone watching, with Twitter ready to destroy her.
And she was right. They did come for her. She doesn't want to lose. Like she didn't have a legitimate brain malfunction happening midair.
The way she described it, like forgetting how to drive while you're driving.
Except the car is your body, and you're 20 feet in the air traveling at speed.
I'm stressed just thinking about it.
But here's what gets me. She went to Paris trials. After all that, the audacity.
The nerve.
The absolute balls on this woman.
Tessa.
What? It's true. Can you imagine? Yeah, I had a complete mental break on international television. Thought America hated me, went through intensive therapy, and anyway, see you at trials.
It's giving main character energy.
It's giving legend behavior, because that's what legends do. They come back.
Even when they don't have to.
Especially when they don't have to. She could retire tomorrow, do speaking gigs forever, and never touch a beam again.
But she won't.
Because she's not done. You heard her. Her body might be done, but gymnastics isn't done with her.
That gave me chills when she said that.
The whole interview was chills. When she talked about calling her parents from Tokyo.
And her mom crying.
Because she knew. Her mom knew this wasn't just about gymnastics anymore. This was about her daughter's survival.
The guilt she carries about letting people down. Tessa, that destroyed me.
She said she'll never forgive herself for not being able to contribute scores in Tokyo.
Meanwhile, she literally saved her team's medal chances by pulling out.
Logic doesn't apply to athlete brain. We're not wired for self-preservation.
We're wired for points.
For wins, for medals, for everyone else but ourselves.
Until someone like Simone stands up and says, actually no.
And changes the whole game. You know young athletes are watching this, right? They're seeing the GOAT prioritize her mental health.
And come back.
That's the key. She didn't retire in shame. She went to therapy, worked through it, and came back stronger.
With boundaries.
With a husband who understands his assignment.
Brings the camera, tints the windows, knows his role.
As it should be. But seriously, this interview should be required viewing for every young athlete.
Every parent of an athlete.
Every coach, every federation.
USA Gymnastics should have to write a book report on it.
With citations.
You know what moment really got me? When she said she wants her legacy to be about advocacy, mental health, foster care, ADHD.
Not just the medals.
She wants to be remembered as someone who spoke up.
Who survived.
Who came back.
Who showed you can be the greatest and still be human.
That's the revolution right there.
That's the whole game changed.
Simone Biles came for the gymnastics, stayed for the systemic change.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Already designing it.
Of course you are.
Listen, someone's got to capitalize on this energy.
You know what? Good. Spread the message. The GOAT goes to therapists sometimes.
The GOAT thought America hated her.
The GOAT is still scared she'll get lost in the air.
And the GOAT is going to Paris anyway.
Because that's what GOATs do.
They keep going.
Even when, especially when, it would be easier to stop.
Simone Biles, everyone.
The realest one in the game.
And she's just getting started.